Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
E-Class Consulting. It's owned and operated by Carice, providing tools, training, and resources that are sure to make you and your business even more successful. We are staffed with a marketing, credit, tax, and a real estate consultant. E-Class Consulting also provides a temporary admin service called E-Class Admins. Want to book an appointment with E-Class Consulting? Call 702-518-3002 or email book@eclassconsulting.com. E-Class Consulting, navigating you to greatness.
Hi. Hey. What's up?
All your favorite artists.
Check it out. Say my name. DJ Khaled.
This is Mila J.
Bruno Mars.
On hot7025fm.com.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome back to another wonderful week. Welcome back, family. You are tuned in to Talk is Cheap on Hot 702.5 FM, the hottest radio station on the planet. And I'm your host, Juss Quanni. Today, we're talking about something, that I think a lot of us are kind of going through on the daily, but also I added in some things that are kind of current that we're getting into as well. But before I do that, let me tell you about my week. I will be honest, this past week has been, and to say it in a weird way, a breath of fresh air. Kind of just getting some things handled and taken care of. And, there was some accountability that had to be played there as well. So this past week was just very productive, but it was, a breath of fresh air to say for the least. Terrence's birthday was this past weekend. Unfortunately, there was some things happening with him in school and stuff like that. And he ended up, not having a birthday party, which is tough when it comes to parenting because you get so excited for stuff like that. And you hate to take it away, especially, right before the freaking birthday. But you also know that as a parent, you have to hold your children accountable and you have to hold them responsible for their actions. So, it sucks. I didn't want to really do it, but I also want to make sure that he's growing up with discipline and respect at the end of the day. So things had to get done. Things had to be done. Was money wasted? Possibly, maybe, but at least it wasn't entirely wasted. At least, we were good on some things. But besides that, this past week has been very productive, like I say. I got a lot of things done. I've been getting a lot of sleep. Sunday night, I was asleep by like 8:30. Didn't wake up till 6 a.m. the next day. Same thing Monday. Same thing last night, but last night I woke up at 2 a.m. or this morning I woke up at 2 a.m. because I was trying to, I got too much sleep. Last night I went to sleep at like 7 or 8 again, and I just keep going to sleep super early, which means, last night though my body didn't let me sleep the whole night through because normally my body wakes me up around 1 or 2 in the morning when I go to sleep that early, which it did last night. But Sunday and Monday, it let me sleep from 7, 8 at night till about 6, 7 in the morning, which means my body was telling me, you think you ain't gonna get no rest? I'm gonna show you what a shutdown look like. Y'all talking about this government shutdown. My body shut down on me, But other than that, that's how the week went. I'm just glad I got more rest. As you see, I feel a little better, kind of a little more alert, if you want to say. But I do realize that when I have more energy, I kind of tend to jitter around a little bit more because I'm always looking for something for my hands to do. But all in all, great week. Glad I got some great rest. Hopefully I can keep that up throughout the week and keep that rest going because I definitely need it. But again, today, like I said, we're going to talk about something a lot of us parents are struggling with, but don't always talk about it. We raising children while dealing with mental health challenges. Like, I don't think it's really talked about enough on what we have to do to get that done. Like paternity, there go my mind again in my head. Parenting is already a full-time job, but when you're carrying stress, depression, anxiety, or grief, that job feels like it doubles because now on top of you having to be a parent, you got to deal with stress, or you got to deal with the depression hitting you from this way, or you got to deal with your anxiety coming up from over here. You got to deal with all of these things that come down on you and you don't really know how to handle them or deal with them. And then you're looking down like, damn, I'm grieving at the same time. You're getting hit from all sides as a parent. So now you got to be a parent on top of handling all those mixed emotions. It's something we don't really talk about a lot, but like I think most of us parents, we deal with that. For example, me, I'll be okay 24/7. I can go 2, 3 days without eating, but as long as there's some food, some pizza rolls, pizzas, whatever it is in that fridge for them kids, as long as that's there, hey, I ain't got nothing to worry about. As long as they good, I'm good. But I need to also realize that if I ain't good, how they gonna be good? So I got to take care of myself too. I got to take care of myself as well. And then on top of that, being a parent and doing that, making sure your kids are provided for. To make it even tougher, we got families here. Well, I mean, not here in just Vegas, but of course, I know it's all around the country right now. But we got families here in Vegas who have lost their SNAP benefits, WIC, and Medicaid benefits being tampered with. I think Medicaid and stuff is still okay, but I think SNAP and WIC are the big ones that people are losing out on. But it's leaving them struggling, not only mentally and emotionally, but financially. Because now they're looking at it like, damn, now I got to find $600, $500, $400 to feed my kids for the month and myself that I didn't have before because the government was helping me with that, So today we are going to talk about how to keep showing up for your kids when you're trying to heal yourself, and also where to find help and resources right here in our city. Again, I'm not trying to sound, like I'm oblivious to anybody else in the country or world going through it, but I'm born and raised here in Las Vegas, so a lot of the resources I know about or hear from are only for the Las Vegas area for the most part. Except for the suicide crisis hotline. We know that's worldwide, right? Or, statewide, countrywide. But I want to talk about the first part of it, which is like the silent struggle for some of us. Sometimes being a parent means showing up tired, emotionally drained, and still having to find a smile for your kids, right? How many of us have said that, we put a smile on because the kids walk in and show up, they make our day brighter, or we got to just make them feel like everything's okay. I'm sure my kids don't really see it or know it, but I definitely, I make sure I speak it until I make it for them so they can understand that, we are going to be all right. We're going to be all right. But mental health challenges don't make you a bad parent. I do want to let y'all know that. Like, they make you human. Because you have issues with your mental don't mean that you're a bad parent. It means you just as human as the next person. That's all that's saying to you. Now, the first step is always acknowledgement, right? We always want to go ahead and say it's okay to admit that you're struggling. It really is okay to admit it. And that's coming from a guy that's very prideful. And this last week or two has shown me that pride ain't going to get you too many places when you need to admit that, you know what I mean? I'm just struggling and I ain't got it all right now. Your kids don't need a perfect parent. They need a present one. So they need you to be present and participating. So you trying to be the perfect parent, it's not going to happen. It's not going to exist. Because I'm telling you now, as being a parent, your kid is always going to show you a new part of life that you didn't really expect to see or know of. It's been happening to me, and I'm not mad at it. I'm just glad that they can show me about it. And for real. Now, even when you are fighting battles that no one can see, the fact that you're still showing up means you're stronger than you think. So a lot of y'all got this idea in your head where it's like, man, I'm showing up, and it ain't enough. You showing up is more than enough. It's about the effort that you want to put in when you having those kind of issues or problems. You showing up is the start to get it taken care of and getting it done. So when you feel like that, you should realize that you're so strong for the fact that you can even get here to where you need to be to get the help and assistance. That's true strength, and realizing that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to seek help and need guidance. It happens with all of us. If you're trying to say it don't happen to you, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. We all have somebody we may go to for a piece of advice, or we may have a counselor or therapist we want to talk to for a piece of advice, but there's always somebody or something we can go to make us realize, like, all right, maybe it's not as bad as it is, or maybe I'm overthinking it in a way. You never really know. I'll tell you all, like, right now, take a breath. Right now, take a breath. Think about the last time you gave yourself credit for how far you've come. Just think about that and tell me if you can recall it. I couldn't really think about it. I may have did it on the show before, not too long ago, I think. I don't know. See, I can't remember though. But I say that because why are we not out here realizing that we are making it a lot further and doing a lot better than we give ourselves credit for? We are moving mountains and not realizing that we are, and kind of just putting it on a back burner because we feel like, hey, it don't really matter right now, so I'm not worried about it. Or, hey, it's something I could put off for later. I'll deal with it then. But I'm here to tell you now Never give up because you're thinking about how far you've got to go. Instead, think about how far you've came and use that as motivation to keep going and keep drilling. I'm telling you, just keep at it. You got to keep at it. I know it may look like it's a mile or 10 million miles away, but I guarantee you, the more you work at it, the more you keep at it, that distance will chop down and more and more and more and more and more, because you'll realize that the work and effort you're putting in is kind of what you need to be doing and where you're getting to. So always reflect on that and think about it. Try to give yourself credit for how far you've come and all the work you've done so far. Nobody's perfect, and we can't aim to be perfect. Because if we were all perfect, I don't think this world would exist. Just to be honest. Another thing I want to get on with that is communicating with the kids about mental health. And I say that because I'm not telling you to really like dive deep into it, but a lot of us were raised to keep quiet about pain. We saw our parents act strong even when they were breaking inside. Like, how many times have you seen your parents tell you everything's okay, but you may have overheard a conversation where they talking about they don't know how they're gonna pay the power bill or the rent. Like, I think we've all seen that before. So we were raised to keep quiet about pain, but in all actuality, like, we are supposed to be better than that. Like, the truth is, our kids learn emotional health from watching us. So if my boys are watching me, but I show them that I'm just going to act tough all the time and I'm not going to show them that I can express how I feel, why would I expect my boys to get older and learn to express how they feel? That's backwards. But if I'm showing them as they're growing up and I'm teaching them how to express themselves in that way, I don't have to worry about it. My girls, I don't have to worry about them learning how to communicate with the man when it comes to something like that, because they'll be able to know, Daddy taught me how to deal with that situation. Mommy helped me deal with that situation. I will not hinder my kids' growth because I'm not getting, or because I don't want to take the right steps and get the right resources to help me. I can't do it. Them kids, they are our future. They are going to be the reason that when we get older, they're going to be the ones changing our diapers and you making sure whether you're in the home or not, them kids make that decisions and those choices. But at the end of the day, our kids learn emotional health and emotional well-being from us. So if all I can do is be angry growing up, and while my kids grow up, they're going to be angry growing up. But if I can teach them patience, discipline, respect, all of these factors, then at the end of the day, I can actually teach my children how to emotionally manipulate their own feelings in a way where it's healthy, where they need to learn to. Because let's be honest, nobody wants an emotional man. Nobody wants to deal with an irrational woman. And I don't want to teach my children to be either or, none of those. I want them to be a lot better than me and their mother had growing up. Is that a shot at our parents and how they raised us? Not at all. It's just us realizing that, hey, there were some things that can be worked on. Let's do it as a team. She was raised in the household of love. I was raised in the household of survival. People say sometimes that don't click, but I believe opposites attract. That's why we've been dealing with each other for so long. It'll be 17 years in about 2.5 weeks here. But when you talk to your kids about feelings, like even in simple ways, even in small, simple, short ways, you got to teach them emotional intelligence. So examples, Daddy's feeling overwhelmed today, but I'm taking a break to calm down, right? And that's letting them know, like, hey, I got a lot going on, but even with a lot going on, let me take a break. I'll calm down and we can get back to what we was doing. Or Mommy's sad today, but she'll feel better soon. It's letting them know that something is going on, because that's how you normalize feelings and show them how to handle emotions without shame. I don't never want them to feel like it's shameful for them to express themselves or handle with their emotions, whether it's my sons or my daughters. Like, I want them all to understand that it's okay to regulate their emotions and a healthy way to do so. I don't want them feeling like that they got to hide things. They can't talk to us about things. They can't really, I sat my kids down and apologized to them, because I said, I know Daddy's a very, strict person and disciplined person, but I don't like that y'all are too scared to even come to me to talk to me. And I apologized about that, and I asked them, what can I do to be better, so that way they can start coming to me and talk to me more? Because eventually I want them to get older and be able to come to me and have those conversations without feeling like Daddy's going to be upset or angry at me for having this conversation. I don't want my kids to be like that or feel like that. So I'm working on that as a parent, because I want them to be able to come to me, or hell, somebody that they can go to talk about what they got going on, whether it's a therapist, it's me, their mom, their grandma, it don't matter. I want them to have an outlet that is healthy. and not a unhealthy outlet. I need to have them some way with that. And I think that all starts at home. I think that all starts at home. Healthy coping at home. Like, let's talk about what healthy coping looks like inside the home. Routine. Like, kids feel safe with structure. They feel the safest, I should say, with structure. Like, y'all think it's a horrible thing to tell kids, hey, you're going to eat breakfast at this time, or, you're going to get up for school, make sure you eat some breakfast, then get dressed. We'll take you to school. When you get out of school, get something to eat, do your homework. They make sure you're in the tub by 6 o'clock, in bed by 7:30. Like, everyone complains about that with children because they're like, oh no, da, 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 da. But kids actually are easier to deal with when they have a routine and a schedule. They have structure, something to go for and go about. They need to understand what that looks like and where that comes from. Otherwise, they're going to be like all unorganized and all over the place. And then they're going to grow up not understanding what scheduling and structure looks like because they never had that in the home. So here in this household, in the Thomas household, we refuse to not have structure and routine around here because unfortunately, the kids thrive better when we do have it. I'm just going to be honest. A connection. So eat dinner together. I don't know if y'all can tell over there, but we got a table and stuff now, and then the kids have a table over there too. And when we eat dinner, me and Diamond sit at our table. They sit at their table. We eat dinner together. We talk about our day. We may sit up there and talk about the day or make videos with each other and make a little content. Or we may sit up there and actually sorry about that. Or we may listen to music together or play music because we all love music so much. There's more than one way to have that connection with your kids. For example, Kalila likes to read, so I'll read with her or let her read to us. Matter of fact, they need to start reading me bedtime stories around here. I forgot about that. I need to get back on that. They need to read me bedtime stories around here. Terrence is more into sports. So me and Terrence can connect with video games and Madden and stuff like that. Me and Kalila will connect because she likes, Kalila just likes to talk. So that right there is what we got a connection on. Junior like to eat. So that's where we connect that with food. We only 2. Miracle is just a sweetheart. She loves affection. So that's how we connect, So there's different kind of forms and ways you can do to connect with your children. Like Miracle also knows certain cartoons and stuff she likes to watch. So I'll watch that with her because I know she like it. But you have to have some kind of connection with your kids or otherwise, I kid you not, it is not going to turn out. How do I say this? Then they get older. And I'm only assuming because, again, my oldest is only 9, but I feel like they get older and they create this distance between you and them. And y'all can never relate to nothing now because y'all never built a connection. Now the kids looking at you like, why you want to know about my day? You never asked me about my day in the past. Why you asking about what I want to eat? You never told me what I want. You never did that before. So they kind of looking at you like, why are you being weird? So now they're looking at you like you're a stranger because you're being weird doing things you never did before. Like, what? That's crazy. Another one is self-care. You have to always let your kids see that you take care of yourself. Because when the kids see that you stop taking care of yourself, they'll call you out on it. Terrence said something to me about my hair where I ain't had a haircut in a minute. What was going on with that? Like, there's different things that the kids are going to call you out on. What we fail to realize as parents is that kids, they see everything. They see everything, whether they say something to you or not, they know. They know, and they see it all. They know. So what we have to be better at as parents is paying attention to what they see when they're around us. I put it like this. I act like my children are around 24/7. That way, I ain't got to worry about slipping up. I always got it trained in my brain that my kids are around. So certain things I do and say, I won't react in those ways or say them or take those actions. I kind of go about them a different way instead of doing so. I find a different alternative to it. Speaking of a different alternative, here's the big one that I want you all to realize. And I've been learning this too. I'm not perfect at this. I will work at it every day because I think you can always improve. But the next one is an apology. I don't know why y'all feel like these kids don't deserve an apology. When you lose your patience, say sorry. Apologize. Let them know why you apologize and let them know what's going on and what happened, because that's how they learn accountability from you. So, like, for instance, with me, my accountability recently with the kids was telling them how I'm sorry that I got them so scared that they can't come and talk to me. I should have never put that kind of fear in them for them to feel like that. And I'll do my best to work on that so they can come and talk to me better and talk to me more so we can break that barrier, because I would hate that they get older and the reason they don't want to come to me is because I wouldn't allow them to. You know what I mean? Perfect example with that. I always make sure that when the kids are done eating that they clean up the kitchen in their area so that because they always typically eat together. The other day, I yelled at Kalila because she was laying on the couch right here watching the phone, watching TV. But when I go look in the kitchen, there's food underneath the table, and the kitchen need to be clean. So everybody got yelled at because I'm like, why are y'all not cleaning up and doing what y'all need to do? Kalila was trying to tell me that she didn't eat. She was trying to tell me that. But I was so focused on the mess that I said, I don't want to hear none of that. Go clean up and give me that phone. Y'all lost that phone now. That's what I said. The next day, Diamond told me what happened. She went to Diamond and told her, she was like, what happened. So I went to Kalila. As soon as Diamond told me, I didn't waste a second. I walked in this house. I came in here and I went to Kalila and I said, hey, you didn't eat yesterday? And she told me no. I said, when I yelled at you about the mess, she said no. And I picked her up and I gave her a hug and I said, I'm so sorry. I apologize for yelling at you for something you did not do. Next time I'll give you time to tell me that you didn't do it because I think you were trying to tell me that and I wouldn't let you. And she was like, yeah. And we hugged it out and we called it a day. We hugged it out and called it a day. But I did apologize and take accountability for not giving her the space and opportunity to come to me when she was trying to. She deserved that apology. I didn't owe that. I didn't give that to her because I wanted to. She deserved it. I owed that to her because of the situation. It doesn't matter that they're children. If you don't apologize and take accountability where you mess up, they're going to grow up making excuses all the time anyway. They'll say something like, well, you should have listened to me the first time I told you to do something. And no, I want them to see what it looks like on both ends as a parent, as a child, to be apologetic and to let it be known, hey, I messed up. I apologize because what should have went about it this way, and I apologize for that. They need to see that. They need to, because it'll be easier for them to take accountability for themselves and or when they're doing it with each other. Because again, what we all about here is breaking generational curses. I tell y'all that all the time. I don't like generational trauma. I want to do anything I can to break that down and get rid of it. I may not be able to eliminate it completely, but I can do my best to chop it down to as much as possible to not affect my children. Many of us are parenting with pain from how we were raised. I'm not gonna lie, definitely, because listen, emotionally absent fathers. Well, not only was he not there physically, but he was emotionally not there either. So I feel that one. Struggling mothers. My mom struggled all the time raising 3 boys. You know what I mean? And households that taught us to hide pain. So growing up, especially as I'm gonna speak from a man's point of view, growing up as a man, you're told, "Hey, don't cry, chin up, chest out, chin up, chest out." That's how you want it to be. That's what they tell you. Don't cry. That pain you're going through, you'll be all right. Deal with it. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Watching my mother struggle was supposed to be the normal for me at that time. I was supposed to be okay with that because it was such a normal thing in the 90s, early 90s, for that to happen for, single black mothers. And it's still a thing now, but I'm just saying that was a big thing at the time. And I was expected to look at that and be normal to go out there and say, all right, cool, I can get a girl pregnant. And then I ain't got to worry about being there because a single mother raised, what they say, single mothers breed athletes. Sorry, that's not nothing to play with, but I'm just trying to, make an example out of it. No, but instead what I did was I took that and I realized, yeah, single mothers may breed athletes and single mothers may do this and do that, but also have watched a single mother struggle. I watched her go through the ins and outs and cry and worry and be depressed and be stressed out on figuring out how she's going to make sure we eat and how we're taken care of. I watched a single mother do that my entire life. So what did I do when I got older and I got ready to have kids? I did not watch the mother of my children do that. I was there 10 toes down to help with my children where it came to parenting, till it came to financial responsibilities. Like, nobody's perfect, but I guarantee you, if you ask Diamond right now, we got to a level where things done. We will still be able to say, hey, we got this taken care of. We can do it. We got it. We are encouraged to take care of our children. I guarantee it that we can still get to that point, regardless of where it is to be. Because, my household taught me to hide my pain and all of that, but I will not do that with mine. And I guarantee you, my kids and my wife will let you be known that regardless of anything going on in this world, you better not come between them. I am the only thing standing between you and them. And I guarantee you, it's not easy to get past me. I guarantee you it won't be easy. I'll tell you right now, I guarantee you it'll be so hard for you to get past me. You can try all you want. You can assume all you want, but I will show you better than I can tell you. I can show you better than I can tell you. But now it's our turn to break those curses. This is what we're trying to do. It's our turn. Healing while parenting means giving your kids what you needed. Patience, understanding, and love even when you're tired. I don't care how exhausted I am. I'm a firm believer in that. Play with your kids when you get home because they've been waiting all day for you to get there. I could be at work all day and only had this. This is the first hour I've had off in 20 hours. and I'm still gonna walk in with a smile and play with them until we all fall asleep. Hey, I don't get no sleep that day, so be it. My kids got me there and they seen that I wanted to be there, but they did not see me tell them, go in the room, I'll get to you when I can. That's not cool. That's not cool. Your growth changes your bloodline. So every time you choose to handle stress differently, you're rewriting the story for your kids. I'm sorry, but yeah, in the first few years of Terrence's life, I used to think anger was a way to resolve things when I needed to parent and discipline, but that's not true. It wasn't true at all. Here we are, 6 years later, and from the first three, now 6 years later, and I'm doing way better at it because I realized most of the time I ain't even got to use anger at all. A nice conversation, regular disciplining, and you'll get things done. You'll get things done. Now, I do also want to talk about financial stress and mental health. So let's talk about something hitting hard right now. Families in Nevada losing SNAP and WIC. That kind of financial pressure weighs heavy on your mind and spirit. It can lead to anxiety, depression, and feeling like you're failing your family. But you're not. Just know that you're not. You're doing the best you can and you're doing what you can. So because of that, I took the time together and I put together a few resources that I think will help us all and get y'all the help that you may need. Right now, here's a few short things. The 3 Square Food Bank. Now you get free groceries and hot meals. You can go to 3square.org. So that's THREESQUARE.org. Or you can call 702-765-4030. That's 702-765-4030. And again, that's the 3 Square Food Bank. You can also go to Help of Southern Nevada because they help you with rent, utilities, and case management. So you want to go to help.sonv.org. That's help.sonv.org. Or you can call 702-369-4357. That was 702-369-4357. Now, WIC of Nevada, from my understanding, you can reapply or appeal at nevadawic.org. That's nevadawic.org, nevadawic.org, O-R-G. Or call 1-800-8-NEVWIC. I don't have my keypad. I should have wrote the number out for that one. I'm sorry, that was on me. But I'll post that in the comments. Or you can also call Clark County Social Service for emergency financial assistance. That number is 702-455-4270. 702-455-4270. That's Clark County Social Service, and they will help with emergency financial assistance. Now, this is to everybody out there. I saved this one for last because I want it to be known. You can go to the Center LV or Center Las Vegas. They have mental health support groups and the food pantry there that's available. And that is at thecenterlv.org. So THECENTERLV.org. Again, THECENTERLV.org or 702-733-9800. Again, 702-733-9800. Okay. That's the Center LV for those. Now also another one for, because that mental health, I like to push that a lot. If your mental health is being pushed to the limit, please call or text 988 for 24/7 crisis support. Okay. That is 24/7 crisis support for you there. All right. 24/7. Again, those resources, there's a few I gathered for today that I wanted to share with y'all because it seems like those are the most reliable. Will I find more as we go along through this process? I most definitely will. I am hoping that this government shutdown doesn't last too much longer and these families is going without across the country has resources available to help them and assist them. I really, really hope that everyone that is looking for assistance and help, you do find what you need. I hope you got a great support system around you to try to help out and support what you need. I'm just hoping here that we have the same going on as well, but we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? We'll see what's going on from there. One thing I want to talk about too is healing together. Okay. Healing doesn't mean your pain disappears. I know a lot of us think that, oh, I've healed. I don't got no more pain. No. That's not what it means. What it means is that you learn how to carry it differently. You don't have to do it alone. So you can understand that you have pain to carry with you, but you have to, in order to heal from that pain, it's not like that pain isn't there. It's to the point where you've learned to handle it while going through life still. You learn to take care of that pain and get it to a point where it's not going to affect or interfere with your life and your choices. I know people don't want to say this, but talk to your kids. It ain't got to be about nothing serious or nothing like that, but just have a little small conversation about your emotions with them and how you feeling and what you plan to do to get it better. You know, talk to your support system. I know y'all all got one out there. Y'all know my favorite thing I've been telling y'all lately, go talk to God. That man will hear everything you got to say and won't interrupt nothing. He'll talk to you about everything. And to those of y'all that may not, you may not have faith in God, you may not have friends or close relatives, go see a therapist. Go find a therapist or a counselor. I swear, you're going to have to do one or the other. And if you don't have one, start by talking here. Start by talking here. With shows like this, with brothers and sisters who understand, with people that want to see you do better, like when you heal out loud, you give your kids permission to be emotionally free. So it's great to show them what it looks like to heal and go through that process. But that don't mean you got to let them see every little detail, but let them see what it looks like to work on it and what it means to make that progress and that effort to move forward. That's what I say. Again, some of us are harder than others on them, but some of us are not. Hey, to each his own. I can't really talk about it. What I will say is that I don't believe that my children deserve to have a parent that will not teach them and show them how to emotionally maintain, how to maintain their emotions, keep them stable, keep them, they're going to fluctuate. They're going to be different. What I want to teach my children is when those emotions come and you can't deal with them, let's find a way to put you in what I call purgatory, for lack of a better word. Let's put you in purgatory with those emotions so you can regulate them, get them right, and then you can come back to reality. You can come back to a sense of what you need to do, where you need to go with it. But you always need to find something or some place to take you back to reality so that way you can kind of regulate everything in a healthy way, I'll tell you right now from a personal experience, parenting while healing is not easy at all. It's not easy at all. It's probably the most difficult thing I've ever had to face, because as much as I want to give up, I can't, because then they'd have to just figure it all out. And I refuse to do that to my family. I refuse to do that to my family. It isn't easy. It isn't easy at all. But it's so powerful that I can't even begin to explain how much it's needed to do so. Your pain doesn't disqualify you from being a good parent. Like, who said because of your pain you're a bad parent? Who said because of what you're going through and what you're dealing with, you're a bad parent? Who said that? Is that what you assume or you think? No, that does not make that true. It's shaping you into a more aware one. So you can be more alert, you can be more productive, you can be more beneficial to the children, to the household, to get things done. I don't like that we feel like we have to heal and then be a parent. Like, no, we don't have a choice but to do both. But it's not like you can't do both. There's an option. You just have to have the right resources. You got to have the motivation. You got to be willing to put one foot forward and put the other one ahead of that, and keep repeating that cycle until you get to where you need to be. Just keep moving forward. But when we sit up there and we feel like one thing set us back and we just sit there and be like, all right, that's it, I ain't dealing with it no more. Do you know what that looks like? It looks like you're just giving up. It's like, forget it. I don't need to do nothing else. I'm good right here. I ain't got to worry about nothing else. I'm golden. Since when? I'll be damned if I set an example for my children to make them think that their father, that their mother did not give 150% anytime I try to do something for them or with them. I want them to see how much of a dedicated parent I am. So what, I may not be able to go out and party on the weekends. So what, I may not be able to go drink and have fun with my friends on a Thursday or Friday night. I don't give a damn. As long as these kids are good and they taken care of, and I'm leading by example and showing them healthy ways to cope with things, to develop, to grow, discipline, I can give let me try to use good language. I could care less about what anybody on the outside gonna think. Oh, you mad because I'm teaching my kids how to regulate their emotions? Okay. Are you a parent? No? Oh, you can keep your opinion to yourself. Oh, you are a parent? Hey, let's talk. Can I understand why you don't feel like that we should do something like that? I just want to get in your head for a second and kind of see where you come from on your end. I'm not hating on you. I'm not mad at you. I just want to know what your thought process looks like compared to mine. Simple as that. I'm not hating. You have a way of doing things. I have a way of doing things. It is what it is. It's simple. But I just want to pick your brain for a second. That's all it is. I just want to pick your brain. That's it. That's all it is. But like I'm going to say it now. Keep showing up. Didn't I say that earlier? Just keep showing up. Keep on moving forward and keep showing up. Keep working on your peace. It don't matter who's trying to violate it, who's trying to ignore it, who's trying to disrupt it. Keep working on your peace, because the more you work on it, the more you deal with it. Who cares what anybody else is thinking? You have to maintain your household, your children, your sanity, your mind. Your mental. You have to do all of that. So you can't let nobody on the outside tell you what to think. And if they don't get out of here with that, if you don't get out of here with that, listen, come on, man. I don't want to hear none of that. Let me tell you something. Your children are learning how to love themselves by watching how you love yourself. If your children see that you put everybody else before you and don't take care of yourself, what do you think those kids are going to grow up to do? The same thing. I refuse to let anybody around me raise their children like that. I'm team parent all day long. I'm team parent all day long. And I mean that with good and bad parents, because if you're a bad parent, you can be taught how to be better. You can learn how to be better. And if you're a good parent, you can give advice on how to be better. I'm for it all, good or bad, because parenting is a learning process, and it's going to take a village. It's going to take support. It's going to take a group of people that you know or have to get you where you need to be. Stop sitting around here listening to these people giving you parenting advice, and they ain't got no kids, or they may have lost their kids at CPS, or they are wanting to be parents, but they not quite there just yet. Stop taking advice from them. They don't know what you're going through. They can't give you advice on that. They don't know anything. They can't. Come to people that got parents and they're doing it the healthy way. Hell, even if you think it's bad, talk to somebody that's doing a bad parenting and see where they're going wrong and see where you could be benefiting from learning from their mistakes. I'm telling you, again, your children are learning how to love themselves by watching how you love yourself. So if you don't show them that you can love yourself and you can take care of yourself and be better for yourself for them, they're going to grow up thinking that they can't do it, and they won't do it, and they won't show it. So we can't do that to them babies. We can't do that to them babies. We have to make sure that we teach them the level of respect and discipline that they deserve. We have to give them the resources and tools that we didn't have that they deserve. My biggest resource and tool that I give my kids is me. I didn't have a dad growing up, but I'm telling you, man, I'm witnessing in life as they growing up, like, man, if my dad was here to help me with this, oh, man, I'd have been a monster. I'd have been a beast. And I'm seeing that through mine. Man, I'm healing my own trauma, my own childhood trauma. I'm healing by being there for my kids. Ain't that crazy? It's not. It's amazing. Such a great feeling. It's amazing. Man, God is blessing me and mine. You know what I mean? God is blessing us for sure. So I just want to let y'all know, man, like, continue to show up, continue to show out. Stop letting this self-doubt stop you from getting to where you need to be. Everybody's struggling mentally while raising these kids. And some of us have it worse than others right now because we're not even getting the assistance we need from the government that they was giving to us. So I know it's tough for everybody out there right now. And if it ain't tough yet, just give it about 2 weeks. I bet you it will be. And I'm sorry that it has to be that way. But please find any resources you can that's available. Seek any help out that you can that's available. Reach out to friends and family. See if they can help if you need it. Like, you never know what you'll do if you just open up and ask for help, because a closed mouth will not get fed. I'm just being completely honest on it. Closed mouth will not get fed. Now, this is Juss Quanni, and you've been listening to me on Talk is Cheap on the hottest radio station on the planet, Hot 702.5 FM. But remember, talk ain't just cheap. It's healing. It is. It's healing. I love y'all for coming out to hear me every week. But please, let's do it together as a team if we got to. I would really love for everybody to elevate, especially during these tough times, come together and be supportive and help each other out. That's all we got to do. That's it. You never know whose life you can save by helping them get through the next step of their life or their course that they're going through. You know what I mean? Just take it as you can, hear what you have to hear, do what you can, find the resources you need. But, until next time, I'll talk to y'all on the hottest radio station on the planet, Hot 702.5 FM. Peace, love, and hair grease. I'll catch y'all next week.
Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. High 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot 702.5fm.com.